Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you how I make candles for my shop. So first you're going to need wax. I use the Joy wax from Nature Gardens Candles and a spoon to scoop the wax out. You're also going to need a container to put your wax in and melt it, as well as a scale to measure out your wax and fragrance oil. So in this clip, you are going to see that I'm putting the container. I'm going to put the name across the screen of what this is called. I'm going blank, but you want to zero it out so that when you're measuring your wax, you don't have the weight of the container. So as you can see here, I kind of messed up. I left it at 0.07, but it's okay. So I'm measuring out about a little over 31 ounces, but not exactly 32, because I find when I melt 32 ounces of wax, I end up having just a little too much, like not enough to fill a whole candle tin. So this is more exact when I measure out under 32. So after I measure out my 31-ish, I'm going to put some water in a pot and use the double broiler method to melt my wax. While my wax is melting, I'm going to be undoing the packaging from the container tins that I'm using for my candles. So while you do this, you want to go back and forth and check the temperature of your wax to make sure that it doesn't exceed 200. Because that is the instructions for that specific wax from Nature Garden. So in this part of the video, you see that I removed the lids from all the tins that I'm using. I was trying to get everything in the frame, but you'll see as the video goes on that there's a lot of times where everything's not in frame, but it's okay because you will get the gist of what I'm trying to do. So right now I'm separating the wicks. I am using CD12. You want to make sure you purchase the proper wicks for the diameter of your candle tin or jar. So I'm separating one wick per container. Make sure you guys have the right wick because it will affect how your candle burns. Adhere the wicks to the container. You can use a hot glue gun or you can use these. I'll put the name across the screen. And these are the caution labels that I use underneath the tins. You want to peel off the protective layer and stick it on the bottom of the wick, and then place the wick onto the bottom of your tin and press down so that you can make sure the wick is secure. So in this clip, you see me using a tool to make sure that the wick stays centered, because you want to make sure during the curing process of the candle that the wick isn't moving around. I will link down below where I got the tool from, and then in the rest of this I am completing the rest of the tins. Here is a view of the wax as it's melting. Sometimes when you stir it and help distribute the heat more evenly, it allows the wax to melt a little quicker. While my wax is melting, I am measuring out my fragrance oil. I am using mahogany teak wood in this video, which I absolutely love. Check it out on my shop. It is available now. So again, zero out the scale, and then I like to lift up the container I'm pouring it in and then put it down so that I don't drip any fragrance oil down the side of the bottle. This is just a technique I use. And I don't follow the manufacturer that says 1 ounce of fragrance oil per 1 pound of wax, because I just feel like they don't come out fragrant enough. So you're going to see for my 2 pounds of wax, I measured out 4.4 ounces of fragrance oil, which I feel really helps my candles smell good. So here you see my wax is now melted, and we want to take the temperature because we want to make sure we're pouring in the wax, the fragrance oil, at the right temperature. So I'm at 189 degrees Fahrenheit. We're going to wait till it gets to about between 170 and 175, and then we're going to pour the fragrance oil. Now you can see it's at about 174, which is fine. So I'm going to be pouring in my fragrance oil, and then I'm going to be stirring for about a minute. So here you want to check the temperature. When you add the fragrance oil, it does help the temperature to drop. So I am now at about 160 degrees Fahrenheit, and this is a good temperature where I like to pour my candles, just because I feel like I end up having the smoothest top this way. So in this clip, you see me, I'm going to be pouring in the wax into the tin. I do get out of frame a little bit, but you guys get the gist. As I was editing this video, I realized I forgot to mention that you will use a wick trimmer to trim down the wick. I will have that link down below. And now my candles are completely poured. I let them cure for a minimum of 24 hours, and they're ready to burn.